I'm Amy, also known as Janitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It, and this is episode 506.
Awesome.
Last one in February.
Yeah, that month went whoosh, just
It's
gone.
it's a short month anyway, but yes, I agree. We were commenting on Sunday, which it was great to see a lot of people on the ZK and ZKN
Mhm.
Zoom that like when we made plans for the month, it was like, oh, the whole month kind of laid out in front of you, and then you're like sprinting at the very end for like tomorrow's the last day.
Yeah. Yeah, I was so concerned about finishing my finished object. I really powered through, and now the next 2 days are just kind of wide open. Like I hadn't thought about life beyond this shawl, and now it's like, oh, what do I want to make?
I did have an on-the-go project. So when I wrapped up my large project, I was like, "Oh, okay, this is where I'm putting my time in." But yeah, I
I
agree.
definitely have socks, right?
Yeah,
Socks are always on the needles. I just wasn't too excited about my socks.
yeah, I'm much more excited about what I'm going to cast on
Yes.
in March. But yeah, it's
Mhm.
a couple of days to get your legs underneath you and kick things off again. So yeah,
Yeah.
we have as far as Administrati goes, we've got I got the dashboard out there. So if
Yes.
you have any FOs, you have any whips, you have any pictures of your yarn, you've got an opportunity to submit it now. I've got mine out from my school supply, which is yeah, again, I kind of, because we kicked it off like mid-February or announced it mid-February, I was like, oh, if you've done anything in 2026 from these gals, you can count it. Again, I'm not getting prizes, so it doesn't really matter for me, but it did help me with the dashboard of you can see that there's a check mark for the whip, a check mark for the actually I don't have a check mark for the whip. So that one still needs some testing. But for the yarn, because I took a picture of the yarn randomly before I knew that this was what we were going to be doing. And then the count for FOs, because FOs will be a count of entries versus a binary of you have it or you don't. So yeah, no, it's fun. Again, we're doing the patterns by Jessie May and Park Williams. I think I'm gonna cast on some of her jet set pants, although mine are not going to be as jet setty. They're going to be more pajama pants. With a big old skein from Leading Men Fiber Arts. So I'm gonna have some silky
Mhm.
merino pants versus hers are more of a like linen, light, airy. Mine are going to be a little more slinky, but it'll be
I
fun.
I have my school supply with the fuzzy
Oh.
cotton fluff yarn from Lavender Loom that I definitely will cast on. But I
Hmm.
do want to do a secondary top, and I think there was the Sunday tank, um, which is a
Hmm.
very lacy tank, and it's DK, like a cotton linen type of yarn. I have a bunch of that in my stash, but I'm not sure that it would count for this year's vendors. So if
Ah.
you have a suggestion out there of somebody to shop for something that's cotton linen, so very summery, but also in that sport to DK range,
Hmm.
I will be shopping soon. But
I will look as I'm doing. We've gotten through quite a few of our vendors as far as our Instagram announcements, but I think we've got a few more that might have that base. So I'll take a look.
yeah, definitely have stuff in my stash, so I can pull that for sure too. But I was just thinking about new,
Oh,
and I
exciting
might
and
want
new.
to, yeah, I might want to pick my color, right? Rather than
Hmm.
what happened to my lighting? Just
I
went
don't know.
off,
All of a sudden, yeah, it's like,
but nothing changed in the room. It's very strange. Okay.
yeah, and then yeah, for ZK, we've got the pairs that will be for yeah, March and April. So we're thinking mitts, we're thinking mittens, we're thinking arm warmers, leg warmers, socks, a pair of pants, as we've laughed about previously. Trying to think of other things that are in pairs. Anything that's in pairs.
My
Warmer or
camera
cozy
holder.
up together. So,
Sorry, my camera holder is slowly fading. It's like
oh, that's why.
needs to
Something
tighten
did
up. It's
change. Something did change.
yeah.
Um, yeah,
So
so
you'll
that
see
is
this
our, yep, go ahead.
come
Oh,
down as
got it. Yeah,
it's
so that is our administrati.
yeah. Forgive me, but yeah, like I said in the beginning, I have been working on my shawl so diligently that I did actually make it to the end, um, premature. So I have finished.
So pretty.
Yeah, and it's still damp from block, so I'm going to be putting
Mm,
it back where it was before here in a minute so that it can finish drying.
yeah.
But this is Farmer's Daughter's Garter. So this is the oh gosh, I recollect. Yeah, recollect is the brown. And then it's two skeins of a sock that was farm to needle. Uh, so very rustic feeling and very plump. So quite a bit different than your standard merinos. And it
Yep.
actually ended up being thicker than the commercially or the different milled sport weight. So uh, really do appreciate this,
Yeah, it's so
um,
pretty.
how it came
Very
together.
graphic.
Yeah. So this is the Hasper shawl. And I'm sure that there are other Hasper related patterns if shawls aren't your thing, but you love the motif. I do believe she has other things like hats made
Mm,
from the Hasper pattern.
very cool.
Yep. So quite a decent wingspan here. I don't want to get too cozy with it because like I said, it's still drying. But
Yeah.
yeah, it blocked out beautifully. And I don't know, I probably could have eked out another ridge, but I didn't feel like playing yarn chicken with this many stitches, so I just played it safe and bound off when it felt like a comfortable border.
Hmm.
So, but I feel like playing yarn chicken, sometimes I don't. So
Yeah.
definitely not a yarn
Well, when
chicken
there's a
woman.
deadline looming, you also don't feel like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Don't want to have to rip back any stitches.
Yeah.
But that's my Hasper shawl. And I
Excellent.
haven't really finished anything else. I as I was finishing things, I focused all of my attention to that shawl. So um and like I said, I had a few whoopsies on it, so lots of knitting as well.
Yeah, yeah. I was also very single-minded in February. I believe I have, my travel project that I took with me to when I went to Chicago. But just a lot of Tunisian crochet. So there were days I was thinking about it. I craft every day, but I can't now say that like I've knit every day because I didn't pick up any knitting project many of the days because I was just making Tunisian crochet squares. It was kind of a join as you go. And I did some color blocking as far as like the little half squares, half, the rectangles, half squares, so yeah, half rectangle. They do remain continuous until I ran out of some of the colors all the way across in a row. But much like you, I got to this is the 13th row, and I was like, well, it's Wednesday. I have till Saturday. I could probably add another row to this. Again, more than just one garter row, as far as work. But I was like, nope, I think this is long enough and I think this is good enough. And I'm not going to make my life more exciting than it needs to be. So yeah, just a ton of DK in my stash made it. Um, Pre-blocking, it is I mentioned last time 5 feet wide, and then it's about 7 or 8 feet long. So it's a good length. I will definitely be able to cozy up on the couch widthwise, and then it is much taller than I am, so cover myself from head to foot. You can see the edges rolling a bit. I did
Mhm.
during our comfort food and comfort knits discussion on Wednesday get a ton of the ends woven in. So it's always nice to have somebody to chat with when you're doing that. I feel like that's my favorite place to weave in ends. It's like it doesn't
Mhm.
take a lot of mental thought. I can just be doing it as I'm chatting away. As I mentioned, I do it from the wrong side and then I do a single crochet. I think as written, what I based this off of had you kind of pick up and just do a chain along the edge. I find that single crochet leaning the opposite direction helps a lot more than just the line of stitches. And I like the way it has little legs on both the wrong side and the right side.
Mhm.
So yeah, I played around with it a little bit to see whether or not I was like, okay, maybe I could do a single chain. Nope, I didn't like the way it looked from the wrong side. And or I liked the way the single chain did. I didn't like the way that just the chain did a pickup and immediately bind off, whatever that's called in
Flip.
crochet.
Yeah.
A slip. Okay, yeah. Yeah, and then I held double this gray, which is Amy, anti-Amy alpaca, and the lavender loon that you kind of see throughout in it.
Mhm.
As I used, I think almost all five skeins of that one in it. And so yeah, held that double, which causes a little fun marl on that edge.
Mhm.
It needs to get wet. I'm worried about my washing machine, whether or not it'll cause it to do like make loud thumping noises while it's trying to spin out some of the water. So I may have to do something different. But yeah, it's got all of its ends woven in. Again, I did the middle ones. I then did the single chain on the all around the edge, and then I wove in all of the edge ends and the crocheted edging ends last night. So huzzah! It is done. Was laughing again when we were talking about it on Sunday that my son was like, "What is that blanket for?" I was like, general warmth and comfort. Like, I think he's used to like I've made one for my mom and my brother and James. And yeah, I made one for Ellie for her college or for her college journey, her high school graduation. So I think he was thinking blankets are made for specific things, and I was like,
Mhm.
nope, this is just a general warmth, and it will be warm. Again, it's been sitting in my lap a lot, keeping me warm during some of these colder days. Of course, today it's going to be like 50, so I won't need it. But yeah, really enjoyed it, really loved it. There's something about, again, I think this is my addiction with our craft in general, but just like every day adding a little bit, and now all of a sudden I have this like 6 by 9 foot thing or 5 by whatever 8 foot thing. Like this encompasses what I did in February with my hands while doing other things, watching the Olympics and whatever. So yeah, it's fun. I like blanket making, especially when I've got like a target.
Mhm.
The monogamous knitter in me or crafter in me doesn't like the just like blanket that hangs around. I guess I
I
know
have
that's
too
more
many
your
of them.
jam. Yeah,
I have four, I think, at this point.
yeah. Yeah, but my bag of yarn got added to and is still is has been, decimated.
Mhm.
So that's good. Again, a lot of those like early on, I'm gonna make a hat with this sort of
Mhm.
skeins single ladies sitting around. So I guess yeah, this is my single ladies blanket. A couple of the like DK Swanky from Magpie Fiber that came in the mail, automatically, and was kind of hanging around going like, oh, do I put this in? It's not enough to make a sweater.
Right.
It's not even enough to make like a stripy sweater, maybe like a 3 stripe or a 4 stripe sweater. And so yeah, I just went into the blanket. Now it's soft and fabulous. So yeah, it needs to be blocked, and I need to do some accounting as far as like, okay, that's a ZK yarn square. That's a ZK yarn
Yeah,
square. So I'll be
you
counting
got some math.
squares
Yeah.
pretty soon to get the entry in. But yeah, really enjoyed it. It was a fun challenge. And I definitely rely on our craft alongs to do that for me, inspire and push me along. So join
Yeah.
us if you need it. Yeah.
Yeah, so next month or next challenge, I am super excited to be doing all the pairs. You had mentioned the pants that you're going
Hmm.
to be doing, but I'm picking out some mitts patterns and going to be taking my single ladies that I have and making some mitts out of
Hmm.
them. I have a couple that seem like they're pretty good gender neutral ones, and then ones that are kind of outrageous that maybe not everybody's cup of tea that I'm excited to play with. Another thing that I thought of is that I enjoy making sport weight socks, but I don't often do it. So I was thinking of grabbing a couple sport weight sock yarns that are individual, right? They're single ladies as well, um, where I had the intention of making socks, but just kind of set them down and maybe doing a pair or two of those
Yeah.
if possible. So I'm excited planning for and definitely mittens. I had already had plans to make mittens, so I want to keep going on that. So,
Yeah. Last year I made the Wonder Wander with some like fingering what held with mohair. And those were the
mm,
mittens that I took to Chicago. And I didn't take like a big coat. I just had like my sweaters, and people were very like, "Oh my gosh, it's so cold outside. How can you not have a big coat?" And I was like, "Put these mittens on and your hands will be that little, I think you've mentioned it with like the fur around the hood, right? Like that
mhm.
little halo on the mittens is just like chef's kiss warmth and wind blocking. So nice. And they're just so soft. So yeah, I would
Yeah.
be tempted to make another pair of those just based off of like using using that. So
And that's a good point because I do have some single lady or leftovers from Tanya, Very Fun Farm. Uh,
mhm.
so I have a bunch of, I don't want to say like enough to make a mitten if
Yeah.
held with another yarn. So got me plotting, more plotting.
We're pretty good at that. You enabled me on this blanket as you were talking about yours. And yeah, I can't wait to see your school supply either. That fuzziness is going to be so fabulous. So yeah.
I am ready and excited to cast that one on.
Yeah.
But I did want to be intentional with these 2 days. So I'm focusing on a sock that I'd like to get done and also my daughter's blanket. So
Yeah, I'm gonna get my Love Always mitt done, waiting for its pair before the end of the month. So yeah, excellent. All right, thanks everyone for joining.
yep. Bye.
Bye, Yufta. All righty, we are no
How are you
longer
gonna
recording.